Welcome to the series where I test out the OSRS Wiki money-making guides. I started this series almost a year ago, and since then we've tried out multiple methods even if they're a little silly, such as picking bananas or even flax. If you enjoy these types of videos, then feel free to check out the playlist that I've made for them, and feel free to leave a suggestion down in the comments for a method that you'd like to see tested. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's moneymaker, we'll be taking a look at Abyssal Demons. Now this is a very exciting Slayer monster that everyone's always excited to unlock the ability to slay because they drop the Abyssal Whip, which is valued at close to 3 million. So today we'll be taking a look at how many we can get on this one task, or if we can even get one on this task. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so as for the gear setup, I did opt to go for the max melee set minus the Inferno Cape. As you can see, I have my Slayer Helmet, Fire Cape, Amulet of Torture, Rada's Blessing 4, Full Bandos, Primordial Boots, Ferocious Gloves, Arc Light, and the Avernic Defender, and of course the Berserker Ring Imbued. I'm bringing Arc Light because it's extra effective against demons, and because I have a lot of charges. I think I have like 100 shards in the bank, and I have about 6,000 charges in this weapon right now, so let's go ahead and use some of these. I'm also bringing my Ceridome and Godsword for the special attack to restore our hit points and prayer. And then I have 3 Divine Super Combat Potions, which might change, and some prayer potions, as well as the Gem Bag, Herb Sack, Runes for Alking, and the Max Cape for the teleports. Now this isn't the gear setup that you must bring. You can also bring prayer boosting gear like Proselyte, which is much cheaper, and it'll also save you some money since you can get more for your prayer potions. And also, if you have a Holy Wrench, feel free to bring that so you can get a little bit of extra prayer points as well. Now, as for the way to get there, I will be using the Xerix Talisman, using the Heart option on that, and then running through the statue right here. Now, from the statue, we can run north, and as you can see, the Abyssal Demons are right here. So, we're going to be taking a kind of dangerous route. It's probably better if we go around, but I'm just used to going this way, which is to go through the dragons, which have claimed a couple of hardcores, so just be careful of that. And here you go. Here we are in the Abyssal Demon area. Luckily, there's no one here, so this will be our world, and we'll see how it goes from here. Alright, and here we go. I will be timing myself to see how long it takes me to complete this one task of 234 Abyssal Demons. So let's see how many Abyssal Whips we can get in this one task. So, pot up. Quick prayers are set to protect from melee and piety. And melee really isn't necessary as long as you're just attacking one, but if you're going to do what I'm doing, which is a very AFK way, you just want to aggro all of these monsters so that they can all be on you, and then you can just AFK. All you got to do is worry about your prayer points and make sure that you sip it every time it gets too low. But if you want to save on prayer potions, then you can just protect piety since this is very defensive gear. Just make sure you're only attacking one at a time, because if you attack multiple, you'll be taking a lot more damage, obviously. And just a heads up, the XP and supplies are going to be a little bit off because I just reset it after 3 kills. I always forget to do that whenever I make a new video because it saves all the stuff since I'm logged into Runelight. But yeah, it won't be too much of a difference. So not even 5 minutes in, and the loot's already looking pretty good. We've already gotten ourselves a Genie Lamp, which is very nice. I'll be using that for either agility or rune crafting. Probably agility though. Now melee isn't the only way you can kill these demons. You could also choose to use magic here to barrage them or burst them. Although I wouldn't really use ice barrage because it's really expensive and they still teleport all over the place, which is kind of annoying. So if you're going to barrage them, shadow or even smoke barrage might be best. And maybe even using burst instead of barrage. And again, the reason why I decided to use melee is because it's more AFK, and because it's more cost effective. I feel like if you're going for money, then you might as well go the most cost effective way. And magic can be pretty expensive when you're casting, a certain spell all those times. Plus, with melee, we have a couple of options. We can either use our max melee setup, or we can go full prayer boosting, which would be the Proselyte gear. And honestly, that wouldn't be a bad choice either. It's not as expensive as wearing max melee, and of course you save on the prayer potion since your prayer bonus is a lot higher. Because right now in this setup, the prayer is running out fairly quickly with piety on. As you can see, at 70 prayer, we got about 2 minutes of prayer. So, yeah. I think the most important part here is just having Arc Light, because Arc Light absolutely shreds these monsters. I've hit so many high numbers. I've seen a couple of 60s here and there, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. Also, back-to-back rune chain bodies, I'll take it. You could also save a little bit of money if you choose to bring supersets instead of the super combat potions. So instead of bringing the super divine or the divine super combat potions, you can bring super strengths and super attack. Super defense, not really needed, especially in this gear. Or if you're rocking the prayer gear, you could have protect for melee up, so you wouldn't really need to bring that. Also, if you plan to be here for a very long time, you could choose to bring Guthans as well. I think Guthans would pretty much let you stay here for as long as you wanted to. Now, I still remember the first time that I unlocked the ability to slay these Abyssal Demons. I was so excited because, well, they dropped the Abyssal Whip, and that's worth quite a lot of money. So this was a pretty exciting Slayer monster to unlock, and I don't think it took me that long to get a Abyssal Whip. I don't think I've ever gotten an Abyssal Dagger, which is very, very rare here. But, yeah. Speaking of dagger, he has a dagger, as you saw right there. I know it did take me a while to hunt for the head, though, for the recolor, the red Slayer helmet. They have a chance at dropping the head, and I believe it's a 1 in 6,000 drop chance. And once you get that, you can use it on your Slayer helmet to change it to the color red. Also, this isn't the only place that you can kill these demons. I just chose to pick this place because you get the totems. And yeah, I think this is actually the only place that I've been to kill these monsters. You can kill them in the Abyssal area, which is fair ring code ALR. You can also kill them in the Slayer Tower. And I think that's about it. Either top floor Slayer Tower, or I think even in the basement they have some there. I think for the most part here, their drops aren't too great besides the Abyssal Whip. I think that's where most of your money is going to come from. So if you happen to get unlucky and not receive a whip, then I think you'll still get enough loot to pay for your supplies, but you probably won't make a lot of money. Also, I gotta say I was pretty excited to use Arclight since it has been a while. I think the only places where I really use Arclight is here at the Demons, at Demonic Gorillas, and I think if I ever kill Zami, I take the Arclight there as well. And might as well use it because, like I said, I have a bunch of charges saved up. I have over 100 shards in the bank, and I have about, yeah, almost 7,000 charges in Arclight itself. So might as well use it. And of course, these monsters also have a chance of spawning a superior variant, which is known as the Greater Abyssal Demon. Also, an item that I don't currently have with me because I don't own it is the Soul Bearer. You can definitely bring that here since they do drop the Ensouled Abyssal Heads. The Soul Bearer is obtained from the mini quest Bear Your Soul, and basically what it does is if you get an Ensouled Head, it'll send it directly to your bank, which is a pretty helpful feature. It does require you to charge it though. I think each charge requires a Blood Rune and a Soul Rune. So with prices right now, it's around 500 coins per head to be sent to the bank. But I mean, these heads are definitely worth it. Each one is worth, oh wow, they're actually lower than I thought. But still, 5k, so the cost of the runes is definitely taken care of by the cost of the head. Alright, there we go. 4,200 Slayer XP, and Dark Totem Middle, Loop Half, and an Ensouled Head. Not the greatest loot, but you know, it's something. So, as you can see, the Soul Bearer that I mentioned earlier would have come in handy here. I do have a bunch of Abyssal Heads that are taking up quite a bit of bank space, or inventory space, I should say. So if you have it, definitely bring it. Alright, and just like that, we're already on our way back. Doesn't take long at all with the teleports that we have. The Xerix Heart teleport gets us here very quickly. And as you can see, somebody's already here at Abyssal Demons. I just left the area. I was gone for a few seconds and someone's already taken the area. So I guess it's a pretty popular spot. Alright, so we just about passed the hour mark and we've killed 202 Abyssal Demons. So it's going to be a little bit over an hour, but pretty close. And there we go. There's our task completed. Unfortunately, no whip, but at least you'll get to see how much money you can make if you were to complete a task without getting a whip. Alright, so here is all of the loot that we got from this one task, and it took us just over an hour to complete the task, an hour and 8 minutes. So let's go ahead and do a price check to see how much loot we got. 329,000 coins. As you can see, not very great, but you are holding out for that Abyssal Whip drop. Once that, drops, you'll make a lot more money per hour. And like with all of my videos, I recommend putting it in there for at least market price, or maybe even a little bit over, and letting it sell overnight so you can make a little bit of extra money. But just for the sake of the video, I'm going to sell it off as quickly as possible. Alright, and there we go. Sold everything off. 327k, along with 2 totem pieces and a lamp that we got from a genie early on. So, yes. So now we can go ahead and calculate the total profit we made from this one task of killing Abyssal Demons. So if we take the amount of money that we spent on supplies, which was 157,983 GP, subtract that from the money we made, which was 327,312 GP, we get a grand total profit of 169,329 GP. Now this is one of the lower amounts that we've made in this series, but you gotta remember this is without getting the unique, which is the Abyssal Whip. There are, of course, a couple of other items you can get, but the Abyssal Whip is really the one that we're after. So, on average, with getting the Abyssal Whip on drop rate, the GP per hour will be much more. Here's also a look at the total loot we got from killing the Abyssal Demons, and here is a look at all of the XP that we managed to get from this one task. Now, keep in mind there were a couple of kills that are missing, I think like 2 or 3, so that's why it seems a little bit off. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even a subscription. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode.